Out on the ocean, water is a precious commodity. Despite being surrounded by water, it isn't drinkable, and honestly, the fresh water kept on most ships wasn't much better. The water could be unclean, stale, and could lead to illness if consumed. Unless alcohol was added, of course. Hello, and welcome to another Tall Ship Tuesday. My name is Caroline, and several weeks ago in a video about alcohol in the Navy, which you can find in this corner over here, I promised a video about a very special drink for sailors throughout history, grog. Grog is a drink of generally rum, but could also have been traditionally made with ale, wine, or other alcohol, mixed with water and sometimes served with citrus to fend off scurvy in long voyages. The origins of the term grog, specifically used to refer to this concoction, dates back to the 18th century. The oldest uses of the term come from an old English admiral named Edward Vernon, who was often called Old Grog because of his frequently worn grogham coat, a coat made out of coarse, loosely woven fabric. Old Grog became concerned for sailors' health and well-being given undiluted rum rations, and so he ordered that it be mixed with water to dilute it. Sailors were not very fond of this new rule, surprisingly, and took to calling it grog in a less than complimentary fashion. Despite that reported origin, alcohol has a long-standing history of being diluted with water for health purposes. For centuries, humans have run into the problem of unclean drinking water. To this day, in much of the world, it can still pose challenges. But one way some of our ancient ancestors protected themselves was by adding alcohol to their water. Of course, alcohol being an antiseptic would clean the water and keep people from falling ill. Casks of water out at sea would get stale. They would grow algae, and they could be contaminated with bacteria and other waterborne diseases that could get people very sick. It was commonplace before grog was officially used to sweeten the water with beer or wine to make it taste better. Of course, now we know that alcohol was actually cleaning the water up, but sailors at the time didn't necessarily know that. So, how did grog and rum become so associated with one another if it was also made with other types of alcohol? Well, the Royal Navy sailed with rations of beer and fortified wine due to the undrinkable nature of water at sea for many years. But this simply wasn't practical for long voyages. In the early 1700s, William Penn, an admiral in the Navy, issued rum rations to his crew after a battle in Jamaica. By 1731, rum rations were issued across the British fleet, and it became widely used since it was relatively cheap to make and had a very high alcohol content. If you want to learn more about grog and get Providence's own modern recipe, check out our adventure page, link down in the description. Thank you all for joining the Tall Ship Providence Foundation on this Tall Ship Tuesday. If you liked this video, please hit the like button and consider subscribing to the channel. We put out new educational videos each week about maritime history, seamanship, tall ships, and even the occasional sea shanty. In fact, come back next month for Sea Shanty September, where you can listen to our sea shanty singers serenade you with some fun songs. We'll see you next week on another Tall Ship Tuesday. Bye!